I'm going to give you a feedback on your PowerPoint. The picture has a strong impact. It has all the components, all the parts of the plant. Just the difference is the top part is unreal. But I guess that's okay. Most likely it's going to be a trigger for remembering the lesson content later. Okay, let's look at the graphic design principle. The contrast, it's a little weak around here. The section where the text and the picture are overlapping. It's a little hard to see because of the contrast between the text color and the color of the stem. And also the picture itself must have been pretty small to begin with. So when you stretch out to fill the whole screen, whole slide, decrease in the quality is noticeable. In general, if you can find an image which is 1200 pixels wide and 900 pixels tall, most likely pixelation doesn't happen when you fill the whole slide or whole screen on a projector. Talking about the projector screen, not the computer screen. The second slide, the purpose of this section is to show three parts of a plant. The first thing I realized right away is the title on the bottom. You probably don't need this. You want your students to just look at the three parts, leaf, stem, and root, and nothing else. Even though this is a title of the whole thing, when you think about the whole purpose for this section, you're better off without the title on the bottom, because you want your brain to process only the essentials like leaf, stem, root, these arrows and this diagram, not this. You want your brain to... So how can you get rid of this text? Of course, you can use a graphic editing program like Photoshop or Fireworks to cut this section. With the PowerPoint, you can crop. With the Google presentation, you can't do the cropping. But I can give you a little tip. Voila, it's gone. I simply cover it up with a shape. I place the rectangular shape right over it, so it's nothing to it. Also, I kind of wonder, to me, it's a little hard to see the details for some reason. It's probably because this shape is supposed to be more like this. And I increased the size a little bit because there's some more space on the bottom. And I don't like this blue color that's not doing anything. So I'm going to get rid of this too. So it's much cleaner. The only thing you see is only the essentials. Your brain's not processing anything else. So it's more efficient and more effective this way. You might have noticed that I applied the design change to all the slides. There's no option just to apply the design change to this one. That's why it was applied to all the slides. And we'll see if it's going to work or not. For this one though, I guess it's okay because the only thing you want to show is a picture and the name. The top title area in blue color, that's not really necessary to do the job. Actually, it was kind of in a way because blue and this picture were sort of competing against each other. So by getting rid of that top title color, in my opinion, it works better. Besides, it's one less element for the brain to process anyway. Now that the top shape is gone, you don't have to worry about interference or balance between the shapes and patterns anymore. So if you increase the size like this, that looks still okay. And you can put it here, and you can put some keywords on the left if you want to. Or you can put it in the middle and make the picture center of the slide. Another thing you could do is instead of using a white background, if the picture is the only thing you're showing and plus just a name, and I want you to try this and see which version you like better. Black has less presence than white, so it competes less with the content. Personally, I like this version better because now the picture is really the center of the presentation here, and the title also stands out really well. Okay, and this one, same concept. You're trying to show the details of this leaf. So this side is not too bad, but you can also think about how many elements you see on a slide and try to eliminate as many unnecessary elements as possible. In this case, you have a picture background, letter, and a slide background. So, obvious step you can take is to eliminate the background color. You can't really cover the whole slide with the picture without distorting the ratio, which you don't want to do. And you can apply the same technique to this one to make the picture center of the slide presentation and make the text stand out. By placing here, I think the picture can still be a center stage, but if you put here, it kind of looks like the text comes to the front stage. And here, same thing. So you might want to think about what's your priority. Priority is the picture or the text. If the text is a priority, maybe this here, even this will work. But if the picture is a main character, a main actor in here, then this might work better. You could even put it here. Earlier, you placed a name here, title here. So you can keep the consistency. In terms of consistency, the text size was different. Let's keep 96 for all the images. And same here, because there's a tiny details in here. By enlarging it, by increasing the size, you can actually show the details better. One drawback is the original image size was so small. By increasing the size, you still can't really see the details. But I still say it's better than showing it in a small size. So it's always a good practice to spend extra time locating the best images possible for your presentation. Finding images, good images, are an important part of creating good slides for presentation. And if you can't find good ones, you have to make ones yourself. And it's the same concept. This diagram is going to be the main part of the lesson here. So take more space, use more space for that. It's okay to make it big. Don't be afraid to make it large. Well, actually, now it's pixelated, and pixelated pictures tend to give off an impression that it's cheesy and it was a quick and dirty job. You don't want that kind of impression because it's negative. So if you can find larger size of this image, animated GIF, that'd be great, but it's going to be pretty hard to find animated GIF in a bigger size. If you really want to use this animation, yeah, use it, because you can't find a better one. And if you can't make it yourself, it's not that difficult to make this. I can make it in about 5 minutes or so, but if you don't know how to do it, then stick with it. Okay, now you're trying to teach 3 important elements: sunlight, soil, and water. So there's a little discrepancy between the list here and the animation here. Sunlight is there, soil is now indicated in here, and water, what's this actually showing is sunlight, water and nutrients, carbon dioxide and water. So how the system's diagram is different from how you laid out the list here. If you really want to emphasize these 3, you could actually incorporate it into the diagram. That would be a better way to go. Now, you don't have a list anymore, but you have all the elements you need to describe what you need to describe here. Since all the elements are already integrated into as one diagram, I think it works better than having a list and a partial diagram and having your students combine the list and the partial diagram together to create a whole picture in their mind. That's kind of tough, especially for little kids, kindergartners who are still developing the cognitive capacity for complex processing. So it's much better approach to have everything integrated into one from the beginning so that they don't have to mix and synthesize different elements into one whole picture like this on their own. And if you are projecting it onto a smart board, you can use a pen and draw and circle to describe, explain things, process. I like this video so much. Actually, I used to watch this anime, Magic School Bus. I like the show very much. I think it's very educational. And it's only talking about the roots, but I think the whole show might be also actually pretty good for this lesson. I would find a complete episode or the remaining parts of the episode and use them for teaching the other parts of the lesson as well. And placing the video after these lessons is actually, I think it's a good idea. I kind of debated, should you show the video first or later? And I think showing the later might work better. I think it's a better implementation of pre-teaching principle that way. So it's mostly application of graphic design principles or multimedia principles or modality principles that you might want to work with. So discuss within your group and decide what kinds of changes you want to make to this. Take my suggestions into consideration, but you don't have to apply all the suggestions I made in your PowerPoint. Discuss with your group and make changes for a good reason. I'm looking forward to seeing what sorts of changes you're going to make to this PowerPoint.